See, when I walked in here, I looked at the lights and said, okay, yeah, this something different. But the lights right, man, the mood right. Like, this some really chill ass shit, man. For real.
We some chill ass people, you know. That's just how we roll.
What's the name of the podcast?
It's called Smoking Word Podcast.
Podcast, not podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast. Yeah, I can't wait to go home and tell my wife, like, yeah, I was on a podcast. That shit was live.
And that's season 3, so we're trying to come bigger and better and harder. So, you know.
Hey, y'all gotta bring me back for more of this shit.
No, we're looking forward to some more.
I'm gonna be on y'all ass too. Like, hey, what's the next episode? So I gotta get in there.
Yeah, we appreciate that though. We appreciate you being here.
Yes. So, well, we already getting started.
We got a very special guest. You know, somebody that you know if you've ever been anywhere.
Man, Cincinnati legend.
Cincinnati legend.
Any nightclubs in the city of Cincinnati for sure. Yes.
So introduce yourself. I feel like we can't introduce you, Ian, because you got your own whole wave going on. So tell the people who you are.
Man, thank you. I'm iBallin, the photographer. I've been a photographer here in Cincinnati for eons. I've been doing club photography for forever. And, you know, I just be in front of everybody's face with a camera. So, yeah, I'm that guy.
If you know, you know. If you definitely from Cincinnati area, you know Ian. You've seen him. You've been on the opposite side of his camera.
Yep.
For sure.
So first things first, like, we heard from Little Birdie that this is your first time on a podcast.
Yes.
No, let's get this right. It's my first time on a podcast.
A podcast.
Yeah, this is my first time on a podcast, and I really love being here, and I'm gonna be back some more.
Yeah, yes. So how does it feel to be on the opposite side of the camera?
Right.
Man, you know, it feels really weird, but it's cool though, man. Maybe you guys got me feeling comfortable because of how the decor is, and, you know,
You got Jimi Hendrix behind you.
Jimi Hendrix behind me. But man, this is it, man. I'm really feeling it, man. Everything is really lovely, man. You guys, I got a great thing going here.
Good. Well, we're so glad to have you. So, obviously, you're a photographer. So, let's take it way back.
Yeah.
How you got in the game?
Man, well, you know, photography came to me kind of like an accident, but not really. Like, you know, when I grew up, I went to the School of Creative and Performing Arts for some years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I went in there to draw. You know, I wanted to, because, you know, as a little kid, I just used to like to draw shit. So, you know, I just so happened to get in there and draw, but I didn't really go far with drawing in there, but I picked up a lot of skills like creative writing. I had a teacher that told me, like, you know, don't tell the story, show the story. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, and I did take some art classes, but in the beginning they was teaching you the principle of design. So I, you know, all that little shit right there in the beginning was baked in my head to be a creative. I just didn't know what I was going to do. Was I going to be acting? Was I going to be a singer? You know, what it was. But then I transferred, went to Withrow. And, you know, going to Withrow, they show you how the world really living, you know. Like performing arts, you know, it was more like, you know, fame.
It's a sector of people.
It's a fame.
Yeah,
a special group.
Yeah, it was like
not like fame.
Yeah, it was like fame and shit.
Right.
So, but you know, you going to
CPS.
You going to Withrow, man.
The
you know,
real
that's,
CPS.
Yeah, that's like Cooley High, you know. Yeah. So, but you know, getting that background early on, I knew I was gonna get into something, and I just so happened, you know, to come across a Polaroid, some film. I started shooting that, and you know, I just started getting a bug. Like, man, this shit right here could take my creativity somewhere else. And not only that, you know, I seen people making money off of it, so I was like, yeah, man, you know, cats in the club making money off of photos. One dude told me he made $2,500. That's what got me. He said, I made $2,500. I was like, well, shit, man. Damn. You can make $2,500. I need to get a piece of that shit.
Man.
So
back then, too.
Yeah. Right.
So in the 90s, you know, I was fucking with the Polaroid, but in the 90s, digital cameras just started coming out. Kodak was the first digital camera that came out, and it was a 4 megapixel, man. So it was like, it really was some bullshit, but it was the first. It was the first.
Not 4 pixels.
Yeah, 4 pixels, but it was the first digital camera, and the concept of taking the image to a printer and printing it out, you know, you had a better quality image than a Polaroid. So I started getting into that equipment. I started, you know, getting backdrops and lights, you know, like the graphic backdrops and lights. It's like in the late 90s. And then I started doing clubs then. So I started getting into the clubs, say like 98, 99 with a backdrop and some lights. Yep. And then from there on, I just stayed consistent, you know, every weekend, you know, because it was good money. But more than anything, and this is just to, you know, keep me sane, is just being around happy people. People who celebrated, people kicking it, people who partying. And I got addicted to that early on. You know, it's like, you know, a crackhead may tell you, like, when he smoked crack for the first time, it was like the best feeling ever. And he was chasing that high shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that would have been a perfect analogy. Whatever it is. That would have been it.
Analogy.
That would have been it for me, because once I start going into clubs and start seeing how happy motherfuckers be, I always chase like that feeling every weekend, man. Like I gotta be there.
That's deep.
Yeah. So what do you feel like there was like a moment in time or like a specific era of like our history, I'm gonna just speak frankly, black history, when it comes to like partying, when they just said, you know what, we need a nigga in here taking pictures? Because before it's like you rarely see that like in the 30s and 40s, like it seemed like those Cotton Club pictures and stuff, it wasn't as like prominent. Now everywhere you go, every bar, sports bars, even the clubs, like you said, tier 1, 2, 3. It don't matter. It's somebody in there giving away the memories, you know?
Yeah, you know, I think this, you know, motherfucker might have to do some research on this shit, man, but I think there always has been a photographer in a black establishment. You know, I mean, we could probably go back to the early 1900s. You got to also look at their equipment. You know, like the type of equipment they was using back then, you know, it wasn't like how in the 60s film came along. Yeah. And then you had a photographer going in there shooting film. He had to go to a dark room, develop the motherfucker.
Put the blanket on.
Yeah, give it, you would find a motherfucker to give it to him. And, you know, and that had to be costly also. So it probably wasn't that many images being given to people because of that process. But as time came along, the process became cheaper, it became faster. Yeah. You know, you start doing with the Polaroids. Like motherfuckers had Polaroids in the 70s and 80s.
And that's more accessible.
But shit, you know, the Polaroids fade. So like if motherfuckers still got a whole bunch of Polaroids, right now probably be a good time to transfer it over digitally and do some, you know, AI editing on that motherfucker, because those gonna fade away. But that was that era in the 70s and 80s when motherfuckers had Polaroids in the club. Then, you know, you get to the digital age and where we at now. But man, it was always the photographer, man.
Getting the prints.
Yeah. And it's history at the end of the day. Like it's literally historical like accounts of whether it's people having a good time, sporting events, whatever. Like
and you know, back then, you know, black people took pride in what they wore. You know, they wore nice shit if they was going out. I'm talking about tailored shit.
Like decked out.
You know, like, they knew how to wear it. So, yeah, they took a lot of photos. I've seen a lot of black and whites from back then. And every time I see one, man, I just be in awe, because I just be trying to study, like, you know, the background, what they was wearing, you know, how was their posture, what was their hair looking like, how they was getting their hair done. I'll be asking questions like that, man.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
But they definitely was dressed to a T. I be like,
yeah.
the older I get, I try to like get like that sometimes more often, you know.
Yeah.
Like on some like I'm almost 40.
They didn't know jeans and sweats and balls like that
just
was like
nice for no reason.
That's what you worked in the backyard with on.
Right.
You didn't put that on just to go nowhere. Like,
right.
And whoever was making a shit, man, they was on it, man. They wasn't skipping no motherfucking stitching and
right.
shit. Man. That shit was like so.
My grandma was a seamstress, so man. Like I be
now everything come from China and Vietnam.
Man, you know they slapping that shit together.
But you know, I asked the girl one time because I used to see her out a lot, like every weekend, man. She'd be somewhere. I'd be like, damn, man, you be everywhere every motherfucking weekend. I said, when you get ready to go out, like, do you go buy your outfit? And if you did buy your outfit, how much you would spend on it? She like, I only spend like $20, $30 on the outfit. So I was like, well, shit, I get it, man. Like, if you going out every night and you got a $60, $70 budget and shit, yeah, I get it.
That's $100 a night at least.
Yeah.
But you got a nice outfit on, you looking good, you know, and that might have been her whole thing to make sure her image was up to par. And shit, man, I never seen her in something twice, man.
I feel like that's easy to do for women too. Like, if you know where to shop, if you know where to shop, it's doable for sure.
Yeah, for sure, and know how to shop. Like,
but you know, like with
TJ Maxx and shit.
I like how TJ Maxx got some shit though. I got some polos about it. Right. Yeah. But you know, I think when it comes to the nightlife, because the nightlife is in our culture very important. You know, it's kind of like the church.
I'm there.
But you kind of need that to socialize, man, because as y'all gotten older, you know, of course, it's less people y'all socialize with from the past. But when y'all was younger, you know, y'all had a real tight clique of people that knew each other and wanted to see each other.
Right.
And the only way you could see them is on the weekends at a certain spot. And, you know, the fashion was important. The music was important. Shit, the motherfucking DJ and the host was important. Shit, I was important. The bartenders, you know, everybody came there, man, just to put on a show for that day, man. And, you know, since you guys got older, of course, you know, y'all don't see too many people, man, but motherfuckers need to see people, man.
Yeah, but lay eyes on them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the fashion, the music, you know, people needing to see people. I think, you know, in our culture, we just be needing that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's good to hear, because I think, like, as I've gotten older, I don't go out as much. But I definitely don't, like, judge the nightlife, because I've had some really good times. Like, the pictures those were some of the best times of our lives, like, which is a good kind of segue into how, like, we know I am personally.
Right.
The longevity of your career.
Right. Because that's how we met you, when we was youngsters in the club.
Yeah, you know, and the party was, partying was different then, man.
Yeah. It was. What do you feel like has, like, changed? Like, what are some, like, distinct changes and with, like, whether it's like fashion, obviously music definitely is a big one, but you've obviously been in that nightlife era for 40 years. 40 years, we gonna say safely. So what?
I said 40 years. I did jump in the clubs at 15. So yeah, I said it ain't earlier than that too. But yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so point out some stuff that, like, you feel you've noticed or changed. You know, just like society.
Yeah, it's man, you know, every era has its own thing, you know, and of course there's gonna be changes. But one thing that doesn't change is people drinking, smiling, and having a good motherfucking time. I guess that's the beauty of it all. But, you know, man, you know, okay. So I could tell you what changed a lot. Was the dancing.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
A lot of dancing, because guys used to dance too. You know, I remember one of my dudes. He was locked up. He came home. He said, man, before I get in, man, everybody was you know, posted up in a little click hard as a motherfucker. But then I get out, and niggas in here busting the motherfucking moves and shit. I was like, yeah, man, motherfuckers dance and shit, man. So, yeah, the dancing has changed, man. I remember one time, and this is right around y'all era. You know, I was doing parties before, so, you know, people was doing different type of dances. But then, I say in late 2000s, the grinding, like, you know how girls turn around and start grinding on the
twerking.
nigga? Nah, I'm talking about grinding.
Oh, like the, yeah.
And you know, this song came out, and when this song came out,
Ricky.
nah. When this song came out, everybody started doing it. I knew when the song came on, man, it was going down. That girl, you know the way you do it.
Oh, girl.
Oh man, when that song dropped, man, when girls are turning around and start grinding on niggas and get all into it, I was like, man, what the fuck is this? And
some devil shit.
no, but so I was doing parties up at Wright State in Dayton, and I think that's when the shit first jumped off. And I seen the shit. It was some college shit. So I was like, oh, hell no, these niggas in here fucking and shit.
Right.
You know? But
Pretty much.
But then when we started doing more parties like down in the city and shit during that era and the song dropped, motherfuckers just did that. And I was like, damn, that was wild, man.
That's wild.
That was wild. That was wild,
music.
But the dancing has changed because the music has changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they've actually talked about love and, you know, really like chasing the girl and yearning for the girl, like that real R&B into girl. Like, he was like the opposite guy.
But you know, like, even now when you got like Sexy Red and you got those songs in rotation,
I can't take it no more.
But you know what though? They turn the fuck up, man. I'm talking about it'd be so electrifying, man. You know, I tell you another thing that I'm starting to like now more is I see more girls getting bottle service. You know, before back in the days it was just niggas, you know, copping bottles and shit, and they be off to the side, so the section would look all tough and shit. You know, a few girls would be in there, you know, get drinks, but nothing serious. But when the girls get sections and they get bottles, they turn the fuck up, man.
They do.
That shit be
and that's telling in itself. Like before, I feel like women used to kind of wait for the dudes to invite you to their section, give you a shot, give you a drink. Now it's like, fuck y'all, we got the money.
I think girls
it's hurting right now.
Man,
the women got the money.
Yeah, no, facts, man. And girls, man, they ain't waiting on nobody, man. Like they get in their section, they turn it into a movie, and so. Like, the photos I did back then were, like, still photos. Well, not still photos. You guys was just posing.
Right.
You know, you guys got into the booth. You know, I took y'all picture. You know, y'all posed. Y'all did y'all little thing. And then it was like that. You know, and that was y'all image. But my way of shooting now is more action shots. You know, the more, like... You know, on some sports illustrated shit, man.
Catching people in the moments.
Catching them in the moments. And I've learned over the years that, you know, you can give people good images. They can be pretty and all that shit. But what's really more priceless is the moment. You know, like, you could always do that pose again in that same outfit and get a similar image.
Yeah.
But you'll never get that moment back again. So, you know, those moments be priceless. So I starting to shoot more, you know, action shots.
Yeah.
I can't say candid because motherfucker be off to the side, far away, and get a little cute candid. Like you know, you gotta get motherfuckers, you know, got bottles in their hands, giving fingers, dancing, got their cup in the air. Those images right there, man, are priceless. Man. Yeah. Yeah, because they tell that era.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. It is.
Y'all ever going to the art museum?
Yeah, we always at the art museum.
The one up in Mount Adams?
Yeah.
Man, look here, man. I go in that motherfucker, man, and I just stare at the pictures like what was going on in that era.
Yeah.
You know, what was they wearing?
Yeah.
You know, why the fuck did he paint this shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
the first photography. For
real. No, for real.
Right.
And you be like, man, that was that era, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, these action shots just tell people how, you know,
Give them more information. Like pictures worth 1,000 words.
It surely
you know
is.
what? More, and so when I edit photos, I'll bring in a large image, but I crop it to where I want the story to be told. Because every image is a story. Because they got so much information in there. Mm-hmm. It tells more of, like my creative writing teacher said, don't tell it, show it. So you got to show as much information in that image to let people know, like, they was having a great motherfucking time right there. Mm-hmm. You got to show the bottle. You know, you gotta show everybody smiling, everybody dancing, the motherfuckers coming out. Yeah, the motherfuckers behind them staring at them, right. Motherfuckers in front of them. Man, so I can't.
It's always a hate. It's always a hate, man.
So check dig. I did a photo one time that went viral when I shot somebody, but somebody was in the background coming past, and you know. They was clowning that picture so heavy that right there taught me about who's in the background. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because a motherfucker could look at the main person, but then they can get drifted off in the background. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like why I shoot heavy. Because I can shoot 1,000 images in an hour. And that's just walking in, just like, say for instance, like 500 of y'all. I'm walking in there.
That's
hey,
let
me get a pose. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, why don't you get into this? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, hold on. Where you going? Let me shoot you real quick. Nah, don't go. Boom, 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 boom. And that's me going in there like that. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm shooting 6 to 1,000.
Now you say Annie's, you got to be clear what type of shots you talking about.
No, I'm just talking about period.
Nah, she being crazy right now. Sasha gonna get us banned off the internet, bruh.
Oh my bad.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
No, but it's funny you do mention that joke, that crazy senseless joke.
Jokes.
Insensitive.
Yeah.
What have you seen? You know, obviously there has been a lot of gun violence within and outside
in the club environment, because.
You know, how do you feel safe? What's your take on what's going on?
So, man, you know, that is really sad because it's really not the club. It really is the culture. I mean, I'm just seeing people posting that, but it is true, man. It's just our culture right now that, you know, motherfuckers just got quick access to heat. Mm-hmm. You know, before, you know, motherfuckers really did fight it out. And then, you know, if some gunplay was involved, that shit kind of happened away from the club. But, you know, you got to think so this shit can happen in any motherfucking way.
Anywhere.
Fucking Kroger's, this happened to Kroger's the other day. It can happen anywhere. Because if you look at the percentage of how many motherfuckers goes out to an incident like that, it's very, very low. Yeah. I mean, when it happens, it's unfortunate. And it's sad because... You know, everybody really want to come out and just have a great motherfucking time. And some people, you know, when they drink alcohol, man, they get violent. Yeah. You know? Because that's the only thing I could think of, man, when situations when you're drunk, you might have got into a scrap or something. Motherfucker probably said some shit, man, that, you know, took you in your feelings and shit. Yeah. You become violent, man. And right then and there, you say, I don't give a fuck who I kill.
But it's the alcohol too. We gotta like face that too. Like it is spirits and all that. You know?
And you can say it's the music and you can say it's that. But with that being said, I think that it does have to be more police presence around those places. I just think that if the police is outside when people are going to their cars, that take that percentage down a lot lower.
Yeah, because it do always be some on the way in, on the way out type shit. It's never really technically inside not usually inside the establishment, which does suck because that could really put some dirt on your business and
you know, man, those club owners, those promoters, man, they work so hard, man, to make sure people just have a nice motherfucking time, man. Yeah, like. I think people don't really.
Nobody wants that to happen. Like nobody.
I don't think people give the promoters and the club owners as much props. Now, it is some situations, man, where there is some bad club owners that, you know, may not invest in security. But I've been into some spots, man, that security be tight, man. Them niggas be on it. And, you know, not this Andy's, because it's a different owner now, but the one when I used to work back there, man, them niggas used to come there ready to fight, man. They'd be like, yeah, man, I'm about to knock somebody out tonight. I'm like, why, man? Man, shit, man. Fuck
but that'd be black rage, too, unfortunately.
But nobody get knocked out, you know. But it be those guys that be like, look, you know, that bullshit ain't going to happen today. Yeah. And normally, at least when I was there, it normally did. I might have seen...
You ain't got no footage of Sasha banging in the club?
Nah, hell no. I know I didn't see that.
You know Sasha gets down with the what's like
Sasha?
Why she here trying to act like
I know.
You guys go fight before the club?
Man, the mix
one fight?
Oh, he was in the mix scrapping?
Man,
I used to get put out like...
Damn, that's crazy, man. I would have never thought that.
Used to get us put out, not just her. You know how they put the whole crew out.
Don't you hate being with that motherfucker that fight? Like, nigga, I told my one guy, I like, look, man, I know everybody in this motherfucker. I want all these niggas, man. Please, man, dude, let's not fight at the end of the night. Man. This nigga, man, out there, him and my other guy out there going in on a motherfucker. Like, man, I ain't fucking with these niggas. I ain't fucking with no more. But she used to barely start. In your defense,
yeah,
she barely used to start any altercations.
Right.
You know.
See, I used to be minding my business.
Man, you know, one of my favorite security guards is Joe, man. And just because I knew Joe from the beginning when he started, man. But, you know, when you run into guys, man, they got passion for security. Like, that nigga got passion for bodyguarding.
I mean, you do, though.
Like, I have passion for bodyguarding.
Nah, for real.
Keeping people safe.
I came in the club one day. I see him like, "What up, Joe?" You know, I gave him a little dap, man. I felt the vest and I'm like, "Damn, man,
he ain't playing
the
around."
President of this motherfucker.
Right.
Shit,
I mean, like, she needed apparently.
Nah,
apparently. Yeah, because where did the security guard got shot at? Where was it? Comfort Station.
Comfort Station.
No, they never had security there.
Where was this at?
I feel like that.
Y'all know, I had to find that place out.
Security guard got shot.
Yeah, don't be. We gotta edit that out.
No, you gotta say somebody's spot, man. You're like, oh hell no, that ain't never happened.
I'll take that out.
Yeah, you got.
All right, that was wild.
Ah, hell yeah.
I mean, there's like there has been a lot of gun violence just in general.
Yeah, because everybody got guns, man.
Yeah.
Like so. Check this, and I seen another DJ mention this. He was talking about Taka, DJ Taka. I seen one of his video posts and he said, you know, cats, they're not dancing in the clubs anymore. I think we just talked about that. He said they ain't dancing in the club, and he said, you know, when girls come in and girls are dancing, you know, girls dance on each other. So if a guy try to get in on a dance and shit, he a creep. So he can't even get in on a dance, you know what I'm saying? So now he really off to the side, just staring at,
looking like a creep.
He's like a creep, like staring at girls with the drink in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying that if more guys, you know, got out there and get their bug on and shit, and enjoy the night, like how these motherfuckers over there enjoying it by themselves. Like even if you on a dance floor dancing by yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You enjoying the night
wrong with that.
For yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a whole bunch of group of guys need to be dancing to click together, but motherfuckers do need to be in there enjoying themselves,
and
just not trying to, you know, ain't no way in hell you gonna just get up on a girl and just start dancing with her and her friend, and they don't know you, or you ain't got a bottle in your hand. Like
I mean, if he bold, he might just have that swag. Like,
yeah, you know what? You right, man. Let me take that back.
I mean, I think now
I would have been that type nigga.
Yeah, right. And
that would have worked in our era.
I would have got it off.
And I feel like even now, I don't know. This generation, what I will give them is they got everything at their fingertips. You can literally be whatever you want to be in 26. I feel like as far as fashion, you know, I don't think the black culture is as limited, if that makes sense, as it was. Like, we kind of all dress the same, we kind of all listen to the same shit. Now black people kind of branching out. So
but you know, it is our culture, because if you look at the economic dynamics of who's actually making money right now, you know, less men are making less money. I mean, more men are making less money than women is in today's era. Prior to that, you know, you had a lot of guys. So for eons, from when I first stepped into a bar or a club until now, the club industry, the money was made off of drug money. I mean, it was drugs from the 60s. It was alcohol back in the 30s and the 40s. But in the 60s, you couldn't buy weed unless you went to a motherfucker who owned the after-hour joint. Like, the average motherfucker wasn't selling no weed out on the street. You had to go somewhere and get that shit until you got to the 70s when motherfuckers start selling weed and shit.
Hippies.
You know, regular niggas selling weed out of vanilla envelopes. Right, so back to the drug thing.
back to the drugs.
Yeah. So like in the 70s, you know, it was a lot of weed. In the early 70s, it was a lot of weed being sold in the bars. You know, some motherfuckers came there, you know, to chill out. You know, when the mid 70s, that's when a lot of these big bands start playing, and that's when Coke got into the picture.
Yeah.
But then in the 80s, the mid 80s, when crack came, the club changed, but you know, it wasn't users. You know, like when crack came, the younger, like my generation, seen what that shit did to motherfuckers, and was like, nah, we ain't on that shit. So instead of motherfuckers coming to the club, you know, off crack or shit like that, motherfuckers came to the club from the money off crack. And crack produced a lot of motherfucking money.
Right.
So you can imagine it fucked up our community, but let me mention this because I was a part of that situation.
But niggas was live though.
It was live.
The club jumping though.
It saved a lot of black men lives though, man.
Round people up out the hood, out the streets.
Nah, it just made, because we didn't have shit then. You know, like, we was really fucked up. I mean, minimum wage was like $3.25. You know, you had Reaganomics, man. That was some fucked up ass shit. Niggas was actually poor as a motherfucker. Like, motherfuckers probably would have killed themselves if that situation didn't happen, because it made motherfuckers get money.
That's deep.
That is super deep because we lost so many lives.
I was gonna say because it's killing just as many people.
But you know, when I was young, so remember I was telling y'all that, you know, I was practicing the about Rastafarian faith and all that back then. I stopped because I started doing that shit because I knew it was wrong. But when we was doing that shit, you know, I was homeless. Like, motherfuckers was like, motherfuckers was a lot of niggas that I knew that did this shit early on, because starting off, it wasn't that many motherfuckers. You know, everybody was still going to school. Everybody was still in they, you know, good boy, good girl mentality. But like niggas that was on the streets, like niggas had to do that shit. And
they were in survival mode.
Yeah, we was in survival mode. And then when motherfuckers used to be like, man, y'all killing each other, blah blah blah, we like, nigga, get the fuck up out of here, you know. Because that's what it was back then.
Or the mentality is they gonna buy from somebody.
Yeah.
It might as well be us.
But when that money we had, when we was going to the clubs, that's what I was telling you about, like that paid in full era, where niggas was wearing big Run DMC ropes and charms and rings all on their fingers and Van Grack jogging suits, and you know, they had a European car out front, and you know, and they had the money, you know, they buying drinks for everybody, like, and that brought, that club era was very unique because it really reminds you of like the Biggie video, like how motherfuckers the motherfuckers wasn't on the dance floor. There was some motherfuckers that would get on the dance floor, because you know, motherfuckers back then used to do slow songs and shit. They'll get on the dance floor and slow dance, but the bar used to be motherfuckers with money, man. It looked like a big fashion show right at the bar. But yeah, and then, you know, you had the 90s, you had the 2000s, but then when you got in the mid 2000s, you got a lot of cats that was selling that dog. And when that dog came through the club, you know, niggas was really buying bottles. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a lot of bottles coming out. I'm talking about a lot of motherfucking bottles. For real. And you know, and the clubs made a lot of money off that era right there.
Yeah, of course. Just because niggas want to stunt. Like,
right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just another place to spend some money, you know.
Yeah.
Pride and ego.
Yeah.
But now I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think now it's really it ain't drug money no more. I think it's just people who just work and want to spend their money on specific things now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, going out kicking it is just one of them.
Do you think it's a specific age group, or you still see a lot of older people in the club?
So I do older parties. Yeah, and they party. And
Yeah.
I love them. I love those parties because, man, and when I say older, they be my age. So
Right.
shit, you know. So I go on motherfuckers, they see motherfuckers from the past and shit, but they have a nice time. I just did somebody's birthday party this past Sunday at a bar in Bond Hill, Cali Bar. And man, they came through, man. They showed the guys whose birthday it was a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I wonder if I do something like this. A lot of all these people come. I don't think so. But he had a lot of people and they really loved him.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of photos of them smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
And in the clubs, though, do you see like a more intermingling of generations now? Like, is it 20, 30, 40? Because I feel like when we was growing up, it was kind of like...
Yeah, it all
Grossed out.
depends. Yeah, it all depends because young motherfuckers ain't gonna party with no older motherfuckers. I remember I
don't think either crowd want to be around each other.
Man, I remember I was doing a party one time and the owner of the spot said, I don't want to run my regulars away. I was like, well, where your regulars gonna be at? They're gonna be right here at the bar. But he had a back room. And I remember getting my equipment out of the car, and I remember girls coming up to the door and walking back out talking about, oh, nah, man, this grown man in there. I ain't fucking with that shit. I was like, damn, man, nah. I said the party back in the back, man. They kept walking, man. I was like, oh, damn. I told the owner, like, man, you had these old motherfuckers up here scaring my crowd and shit.
So my hell now, it's
crazy because
old motherfuckers.
It's like, you know, club photography is like nightlife photography, whatever you want to call it, I guess, is its own little genre inside a genre.
Right. It's a very specialized.
Yeah, you know, it's like a whole little, its own little thing. Mm-hmm.
It is, especially now when content is really more important. You know, back then, you know, getting some pictures.
You had to buy them.
Well, now you still have to. Somebody got to buy those motherfuckers today. But back then, you know, the urgency of putting your stuff on social media wasn't as big. You know, we had MySpace and shit, man. You know, you posted a picture on there, that's cool. But, you know, people kind of kept those to themselves, like the images. But nowadays, man, everybody want their picture taken, man. You know, like when I walk in the door, you know, they on my ass, man.
That's
like,
crazy.
For real, man. Like, it's like swimming with fish. You know what I'm saying? Get hit by fish all the goddamn time. But yeah, man, it's an urgency, man. So let me tell y'all this story real quick. So when I started off doing photography, man, I wanted to do it because, well, at least with the iBallin business, I wanted to do it because I wanted to make some money, and I wanted to make a lot of money. And I was just trying to figure out ways to how do I make a lot of money off this photography stuff. So when I was in Houston, I was going out, and there was a website down there. The website was called In The Mix. And In The Mix, and this is like 2004, 2005. In The Mix, they had pictures of parties from Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. And they had all the flyers for all the events that was happening in those cities on their website. I was like, man, damn, this is live, man. This unique. I was like, man, I might have to do some shit like that. So I come from Houston, come back Chicago, come back here, and you know, I had to make some decisions in life. Say that. And I was like, man, what do I want to put all my time into that I know I'm gonna make some money off of? And I had a punk ass job, but you know, like if you ain't got nothing that can make you some money, man. You know, you got a boring ass life.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I was still. I'm a photographer. I was like, you know, how can I do? What can I do with my photography? I was like, man, damn, them niggas in Houston, man, they had a nice thing going. I said, fuck that shit, man. Let me get me a website, man. Mm-hmm. So I got a website. You know, did the iBallin.com, and when I went to the clubs, I started going to the clubs around. I was doing like little small bars and shit, but you know, shout out to Mike Martin and Eric Dunn. They did the Final Fridays. Was it Final Fridays or First Fridays? No, they did Final Fridays. Final Fridays. And I will go in there and post up my lights, my backdrop and shit. But I tell the DJ, I said, tell all the ladies I'm doing free pictures tonight. You know, and they'll be like, what's up, iBallin over there in the corner? He said he's doing free pictures for all the ladies. Y'all get all over there, y'all get y'all some pictures, blah, blah, blah. They'll run on over there. And I was like, look, man, pictures free if you grab it from my website. But it's $10 if you want to print it. So I take their pictures and motherfuckers will pay for it because they want their shit right then and there.
It's the convenience.
But they was hitting that website up because some motherfuckers didn't. Some motherfuckers were like, man, I just grab it off the website. Big ass logo and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna go to the website and grab it. All right, ain't cool. At least you got my logo and shit.
Right. It's advertisement.
Man. But I started making great money doing that shit because Cincinnati, they had their own photographers. You know, you have photographers in the Ritz. It wasn't that many spots either, but you know, Akil was with J. Raj down in Mixon, him and Black James. So I couldn't really get in and get no money. You know, so I remember going on MySpace, and this chick down in Louisville was throwing a party. I don't know how I ended up following this chick. She was a model, and she was throwing a party. And I just sent her a message. I was like, hey, you got a photographer for your party? She said, no. I said, can I come down and set up a booth and stuff? She's like, sure, come on down. She said, the party might not be as packed, but it's going to be a nice party. I was like, fuck it. I just trying to get into a new market. Yeah. I was just trying to get into a new market. So I went down there, hollered at her, but it was two other motherfuckers there. My girl Dee Dee, she was a promoter, and my boy Josh, he's a DJ down there. And they was like, do you come down to Louisville a lot? I said, I will. He's like, man, we got the Source Awards coming next week. They doing like a city to city tour. Would you come down for it? I said, hell yeah, I'm gonna come down. Right. So I came down and made some money. You know what I'm saying? I made like $500 down there. Just off the. I said, yeah, this is nice, man. I'm gonna start fucking with Louisville. And there was some cats there from Paducah, because the Source. The Source magazine was bringing motherfuckers from all over the state of Kentucky to come, you know, be a part of what they had going on. So I ran into some niggas from Paducah, and them niggas had money, and they was like, man, we want you to come down.
Paducah get down though. I done heard about Paducah.
Man, let me tell you about Paducah, man. I hope my Paducah motherfuckers see this shit. But I love me some Paducah, man.
My family from Winchester, so I know about Kentucky in general, but
the whole, not even Paducah, the whole western part of the whole state of Kentucky. Because when I hooked up with the guys in Paducah, that ended up taking me to little cities like Mayfield, Murray, Clarksville, Tennessee.
Oh, and you was in the gutter.
Yeah, I was out there, and then I ran into, I hooked up
sticks
with this girl on Facebook was jumping. She inboxed me. She like, do you come down to Bowling Green, Kentucky? I said I would if you turn me on to the promoter. I got down there and hooked up with two promoters and a club owner, and I started doing parties in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So Bowling Green was jumping. I fucked with Radcliffe. Of course, I fucked with Louisville heavy. I fucked with Louisville heavy for my guys' dream team down there. I did all their parties. Then I ended up hooking up with a DJ. He had me in Lexington and Berea. Then I hooked up with a guy. This all from Louisville. I mean, this shit wouldn't have happened here. Yeah. So when motherfuckers tell you, man, you might have to leave here to do other shit, they may not be lying. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm still here, is because of the consistency. Just, you know, being on the phone, being in motherfuckers' inboxes, like, hey,
paying attention to what's going on, like around you.
And you kind of got to. I mean, that's funny you said consistency. It's like, I don't know a motherfucker in the hospitality industry, whether you promoting, photography, bartending, bottle girl, like you getting money and niggas are going to clubs. So it's like it's almost like a laundromat. Like you know,
it's crazy. You know, people. You know, they pledge their allegiance to the club, man.
Man, I did for a good 10 years.
Ain't a bad, I mean, it ain't a bad deal. Because, you know, like, especially now that we get into this AI shit, you know, where, you know, it's going to be the norm where you just see a lot of artificial shit, artificial people trying to sell you something on social media, you know, artificial podcasts. Like, a motherfucker just sit down and be like...
Fake.
Like, I'm gonna make my own podcast. You go into ChatGPT. Give me a podcast with two people talking, looking like this. Blah, blah,
That's
blah.
exactly what me and Sasha did.
No, but I'm talking about something.
Impossible
but, you know,
to recreate.
But the graphics in the future, the graphics is gonna be so clean. It's gonna look like y'all two.
Yeah.
And sound like y'all
Scary.
two. Yo, it is what it is. But it's gonna be people that's gonna yearn that physical aspect of socializing.
Yeah.
That's already happening, I think. That's why so much mental health stuff going on.
Man. Yeah, we need to do more parties, man.
For sure. Yeah. Just get people like in the room, phones down, listen to music, touch grass, smell air, like just simple little stuff like community gathering.
Yeah, community gathering. Yeah, I'm
even if it's not like drinking and partying, just like anything as a team, as a joint effort, make a circle, hold hands. You know what I mean? Like it's like we have strayed so far with technology. Yeah, it's been the gift and curse. So that's a good segue into our word too. Yeah. Because when we was thinking about what word we wanted to select for today, it's like we were talking about generations and how things have changed over the last decades, centuries, whatever. Now you got all like the generational wars and stuff now. It's like Gen Z versus the millennials versus X versus this. So our word of the day, you want to take it this time, Sasha? I think I took the last one.
Don't give me no hard word out.
No, it's the same one.
Can't say it.
It's cool. It's pretty much what sums up what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It says every generation imagines itself to be more intelligent than the one before it and wiser than the one that comes after it.
And give it to him again.
Every generation imagines itself to be more intelligent than the one that went before it and wiser than the one that comes after it.
Sound about right.
Yeah.
So when we hear that quote, it comes from George Orwell.
Yep. We all know he's a writer, you know.
Author, yeah.
That's his pen name. What's his real name?
I forget. Eric something Blair or something.
Yeah, we're going to put his real name. That's his pen name.
But obviously, if you've read 1984.
I read some of them.
Animal Farm.
Yeah, those are some big names.
I wish I was a big reader, man. You know?
I'm definitely getting back into it, like I was saying, the last year.
Like COVID had me reading again for sure.
I used to read a lot when I was in high school, but now that I got into photography, I just read images more.
But when I hear that word, I think of like how people always say like, you know, your parents always say like, you gonna learn one day. And I feel like every person, no matter what generation you grew up in, you was just looking at your mom or dad like, whatever. They just being a parent.
They don't know.
Man.
They don't know what we going through right now. Like,
yeah, you know, unfortunately, man, shit just can't stay the same forever. You know what I'm saying? Shit gonna change. And I think more than anything, to just move in this world today is you got to create great processes.
Yeah.
You know, if you can create a great process and it can stay consistent with it every day, you'll be able to run fine until somebody hijack your process, or you get off or things change where your process may have to change. But you got to be able to pivot, and you got to be able to create great processes and just stick with it. Man, I think a lot of us quit early, man, when shit just get rough, man. Like when I was taking trips in other cities and the party didn't do well, and I always had to come home with $100, man. But I had expenses like rentals and supplies and all that shit. That didn't stop me. My wife used to be like, man, you gonna keep doing that shit? Like, you know, that shit ain't even making no money. I said, no, look, I promise you, man, this
Just you
shit,
wait.
this shit. And I did have moments where I made $2,500 that night. You know what I'm saying? And it was like,
That's crazy.
man, amazing, man. I was like, oh man, this shit, man, is beautiful. I never quitting this shit. I wish it still was like that with the Prince, man. That was, man.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know where I would have been at, man. That was a lot of bread coming through on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, people, I think they still appreciate Prince now that we like all digital.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't like Prince. Nah.
I do. I like.
But that's just nostalgia.
Yeah,
you know?
right. You want to have it because at the end of the day, these cell phones could just go up in flames tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then what we got?
And that's what I was gonna say. Like,
I still got a VCR. So I should know. I keep everything.
Yeah.
Man,
And so if we had an apocalypse, I'll be in here watching VHS. It's like,
that's what I'm like.
I
We
don't
gotta
need
be.
Roku's.
See,
We gotta teach these new kids how to play maps and stuff.
Oh no, man! I don't play.
Got DVDs and all that.
Yeah,
So-
I got cassette tapes and all.
So let me ask you this, man. You know, because this AI is here, and the way motherfuckers do with their processes is going to be totally different. Would you guys, or are you guys thinking of accepting the change and change with it, or are you guys going to stick with y'all process and be like, man, I'm good where I'm at?
I think the smart thing to do is to learn it. You know, learn how to incorporate it with you. You know, the way you do things. Your process still matters, but it can make your life easier. You know, and if you use it to make your life easier. For certain processes, if it can cut that time down in half or things like that, then you could be more productive on other things.
That's it right there.
That's really what it's about, like knowing how to use it. It's a tool.
Yeah.
If you just look at AI like another tool, you learn how to use it.
Now,
In moderation, like, you know, don't let it become your brain.
Yeah, because then you don't want to give it too much game either.
Yeah.
So it's like that thin line, because every time we ask it something, we training it.
To think,
So you
to
don't
be
want
you for real.
Yeah.
To be your brain. Like,
But you know, what's really crazy is like how when the cell phone came about, not even the cell phone, but the phone that gave you processes.
smartphone.
Smartphone. Yeah, when the smartphone came about, how people really depended on everything,
like GPS, like
GPS,
like these kids don't know how to get around.
Right, you said get from Bond Hill to Kenwood.
Yeah,
Right. They go
The street way.
GPS.
The street way.
Right.
even socialize. I mean, like, so like dependency on people change with every device that comes out. And now, before Google and all the search engines was big, like, man, if you need to find something, go Google it and shit. You know, motherfuckers use that for that. But then now with this AI, you know what, ChatGPT and Claude, you know, when you put that stuff in, and it tells you something that sounds factual as hell. Yeah, and you know it ain't 100% right. You know it's 95% right. It get as close as it possibly can to what you're asking, but it would never be 100% of what you ask. At least as of right now.
Right.
But that shit changes.
But they training, they fine tuning that shit. That's why I ain't gonna lie, I stopped using it unless I absolutely had to, because I feel like I was like running stuff for social media, for the podcast, running ideas. Like when I went to Africa over the summer, I'm telling it everything I want to pack and what should I do. Like, this bitch don't know me. And then one day she said some fucked up shit like, you might smell like coconut. How she know I use coconut oil?
Because
I never said shit about it.
So
That's crazy.
man, you know, I can't even answer that because I'll be assuming.
But I think what it does, I think it was like,
know your pattern, know your habit.
And I probably can read your cookies and stuff and see where you've been shopping.
See, and that's where it just gets so scary.
See,
it's just too scary.
We gotta start thinking like that, like it can do all of that.
So let me tell you what I think the club gonna be like in the next 20 years, man.
Shit.
They gonna be sitting there.
No, hell no. I think what the club gonna be in the next 20 years is the DJ is gonna be an AI system that scans people faces, so they know what type of music they listen to.
You probably not wrong.
And then not only that, since they know all their habits, they may throw in some little ads like, hey, Tina up at the bar right now doing ketos, a splash of cranberry. You may want to go grab me one. Yeah, I do want to grab
like
me one.
Like in the meta glasses, so everybody hearing different songs in the same place.
Do you want us to bring her down here for you? She'll come right down right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
I mean, I see that. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, because we still going to have to socialize. We still have to have that physical aspect.
But
the way business is going, it's like, why would we pay a bartender? Why would we pay somebody to bring it out?
One thing for sure, they're going to always pay photography, man, because shit.
They got to have a robot ion rolling around like, can I take your photograph?
Nah. I mean, it might happen.
Hey, I'm sure in Japan somewhere.
It's gonna be able to do everything.
but you know what?
Like, that's when our values gotta change.
But a club photographer, and that's why there ain't too many of us. But a club photographer gotta have some charisma. He gotta have some. He gotta be a fly nigga. No, serious, or a woman, because you gotta be able to walk up to somebody and be like, "Can I take your picture?"
If you look trash, they ain't gonna.
Right.
Even if they look good, they may be like, oh, no, I want no picture. I'm like, damn, man, you look good, man. Why you don't want no picture? I'm good at this shit. Let me take it. If you don't like it, fuck it. We get rid of that motherfucker.
Right.
I take their picture, man. They love it. You know what I'm saying? But it take that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be a motherfucker in the corner with motherfuckers inbox me and be like, man, I want to do what you do. You got any tips for me, man? I got a camera. I got a light. I'm like, man, you just need to get out there, man.
Yeah. Create a name.
Yeah, just holler at people. Just walk up to them like, let me take your picture. You just gotta pray that you took a good motherfucking photo.
Right.
Or keep doing it until you take great photos. Yeah, that's the only way you gonna learn.
Yeah.
But man, it takes a suave motherfucker,
man. And you definitely are that.
That's how we met you as a cool.
Cool. Pull up. What y'all doing? Hop in. Like, man, when we was young, we lived for the camera.
As soon as we see you, we be like,
it's still the same way.
Yeah. And we just appreciate you so much. You've been like, speaking of consistency again, like you just always been so humble, so approachable. When Sasha started Trap Natch, when we started the podcast 3 years ago, you've always been encouraging us and telling us how much you care and support, and that really means a lot to us. I mean, for real, like,
man, I thank you guys,
right. And that legendary photo shoot for Trap Natural where we had the 70s photo shoot, that was iron, y'all. And we gotta post a little clip and go, run that back just for old times.
I got it saved about 7 to 8 times too. I had to pull that one. I think I just posted it. Probably about I think I posted it when you reached out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you reached out to me, you came to my mind. I don't know if I got it saved in my phone or what, but I posted that right then and there. And that motherfucker was live then too.
Man,
that was live. That was live.
If I'm looking for something,
time is very timeless.
That's timeless.
It is time. That's a good word for it. So that's what we want to name this episode.
Yeah, timeless. And we want to congratulate you on 20 years of official business with iBallin. Like I said, we literally grew up.
You just aged us because I'm 37, and that's exactly when we probably met you in the club, being too damn young.
17-ish.
Ish. Wink, wink.
But tell everybody quickly, what you got coming up, where to find you, all that good stuff on social media and whatnot.
Yep.
All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram. That'd be the best place to find me at iBallin Photos. That's with a IBALLIN Photos. And man, I'm at Privy on Fridays. Privy's is nice on Fridays. Shout out to my guy Paul. Shout out to everybody down there. I'm at Memories on Saturdays. Shout out to that whole nightclub, man. That's a fabulous
nightclub. It's a new spot. Yeah, I haven't been down there.
It's nice, man. I really I really like those guys, man. They cool people, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Well, y'all, thanks for joining us. Y'all at home, wherever y'all at tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, drop a comment, send us some old pictures. We know y'all got some iBallin photos in the vault, because everybody do.
Tag iBallin, tag Smoking Word. You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate you coming through, Ian.
For sure.
Thank you guys.
Till next time, y'all.
Man, for sure. Till next time, y'all.
Peace.